They run out of oxygen, they weren't fit for the climb, right? And one of the hardest things is like when you discover that.
But, what you start realizing is that they ground you and they give you perspective, and over time that makes you better.
It's so
That's
funny.
actually right before, yes, because when we reached out to make the call, he and his wife, actually his wife had mentioned that they had just been binge watching Friends.
Whispers are swirling that former President Barack Obama, America's beacon of composure and family values, has allegedly been linked romantically to none other than Jennifer Aniston, the beloved Hollywood icon we all associate with coffee at Central Perk. It all started with a single post, a seemingly innocuous message dropped into the digital chaos of social media. The claim: during an intimate gathering, a psychic allegedly drew out a jaw-dropping confession from Jennifer herself. She had been secretly involved with Barack Obama. This wasn't your typical gossip post. It hit like a bolt of lightning. A former president, a Hollywood A-lister, and a psychic revelation? It's the stuff of tabloids' wildest dreams. Yet instead of rolling their eyes and moving on, people latched on. Skepticism turned to fascination. Speculation spread like wildfire, engulfing comment sections, forums, and feeds with debates over whether such an affair could even be possible. After all, how do two of the world's most scrutinized figures keep such a secret under wraps? But here's the kicker. The more far-fetched the story seemed, the more attention it gained. What was once an anonymous claim became a viral sensation, bringing one burning question to the forefront. What does Michelle Obama think about all of this? Could the rock-solid image of the Obamas really be shaken by such a scandal? Stay with us, because what happens next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the dynamics of fame, power, and public perception. As the rumor gained momentum, the spotlight shifted to Michelle Obama, the woman who, for years, has been the epitome of strength, grace, and unity. Social media erupted with theories about her reaction, with every movement, every social media post, and even her occasional solo trips being picked apart for clues. Was she silently furious, heartbroken, or worse, planning a dramatic revelation that could shake the foundation of their marriage? Adding fuel to the fire was the fact that Michelle and Barack had, on occasion, traveled separately in recent months. What might have been normal scheduling conflicts in any marriage suddenly became evidence of a growing distance between the former first couple. The internet thrives on chaos, and this particular narrative had all the elements to go viral: an iconic couple, a Hollywood superstar, and a scandal dripping with intrigue. As tabloids and forums began piecing together their own versions of events, Michelle's absence from certain public events was presented as proof of turmoil behind the scenes. Every smile was dissected, every word in her interviews analyzed as though the truth could be unearthed in a slip of her tongue or the angle of her posture. And yet, Michelle stayed silent. The world was left guessing. Was her silence a quiet, calculated statement, or was the rumor so absurd that addressing it would only dignify the gossip? For many, her silence was more deafening than any public denial could have been. But one thing was clear: as the narrative of this so-called affair spiraled further out of control, the question wasn't just about Michelle's reaction anymore. It was about Jennifer Aniston. How could Hollywood's golden girl possibly have found herself at the center of a scandal this explosive? That's where things take a bizarre and unexpected twist. Let me explain. Here's where the story takes a turn that feels like something straight out of a soap opera. Jennifer Aniston, beloved actress, perpetual tabloid darling, was suddenly cast as the third point in this scandalous triangle. But how did her name even get tied to Barack Obama in the first place? The answer lies in a bizarre anecdote that could only exist in the age of viral gossip: a psychic reading. According to the initial anonymous post, Jennifer had been at a private gathering where a psychic was invited to perform readings for the group. The psychic allegedly hinted at a powerful man playing a significant role in Jennifer's life, and that's when it happened.
Look, there have been maybe 3 or 4 instances where you do get a call in the middle of the night. So, for example, when the typhoon hit Japan, Fukushima.
Right.
Right, and you're not sure what exactly is going to be happening. It's the other side of the world, so it's the middle of the night.
Jennifer supposedly let it slip that this man was none other than Barack Obama. Let that sink in for a moment. A psychic, a casual gathering, and a confession about a secret romance with one of the most prominent figures in modern history. The absurdity of it all didn't stop the internet from running wild. Screenshots of the original claims spread across platforms. People debated the logistics of how a relationship like this could even exist under the watchful eyes of both the media and the public. Skeptics dismissed the entire narrative as laughable, believable, but for others, it didn't matter whether it was true. The combination of Hollywood glamour and political prestige was too juicy to ignore. And for Jennifer, who had always managed to steer clear of anything this sensational, it was a public relations nightmare. But as gossip continued to swirl, Jennifer made her move. And her response, though humorous, only added more fuel to the fire. Was she genuinely amused, or was she trying to deflect? You'll want to hear how this only deepened the controversy. As the rumor reached fever pitch, all eyes turned to Jennifer Aniston. How would the beloved star, who'd spent decades navigating the tabloids with humor and grace, handle being thrust into one of the most bizarre scandals of the decade? True to form, Jennifer didn't issue a serious denial or lash out at the gossip. Instead, she addressed the situation with her signature wit during a lighthearted interview. Laughing off the allegations, she quipped about how absurd the entire thing was, brushing it aside as nothing more than outlandish fiction. But her playful tone only seemed to fan the flames. In the age of social media, where every smirk and offhand comment is analyzed frame by frame, her laughter was dissected endlessly. Was it the nervous kind, hiding a deeper truth? Or was it the carefree laugh of someone amused by the ridiculousness of it all? To the internet, her reaction became another piece of the puzzle, rather than the definitive end to the story. And then came the so-called twists. Some online users twisted her words, claiming she had admitted to attending private events with the Obamas. Never mind that her comments referred to public events where Michelle had also been present. These small, harmless details were exaggerated to feed the narrative. It was as if the rumor had taken on a life of its own, evolving with every whisper and retweet. Despite her public dismissal of the affair, the rumor continued to grow, dragging both Jennifer and Michelle further into the vortex of speculation. But while Jennifer's response kept things playful, the focus shifted back to Michelle. If Jennifer wasn't panicking, what about the First Lady America looked up to? Could Michelle's silence really be masking a storm brewing behind closed doors? Let's dig into that next. As Jennifer Aniston laughed off the scandal, the spotlight swung back to Michelle Obama. Her silence became the most talked about reaction, or lack thereof, in the entire saga. The internet thrives on ambiguity, and Michelle's refusal to address the rumor was like pouring gasoline on a fire. For many, her silence was the loudest statement of all. Was she quietly furious, devastated, or simply choosing dignity over drama? Speculation ran wild. Michelle's solo vacations and independent appearances were reinterpreted as signs of a rift in her marriage. Every photo of her smiling at an event without Barack was scrutinized. Was her smile too forced, too wide? Was she covering up heartbreak? Her motivational posts about empowerment and self-care on social media were suddenly seen as cryptic messages, proof that she was healing from betrayal. And then there were the conspiracy theories.
From being together, although we were still stressing about the results of the election and people were, in a way, there was a certain kind of need to connect that was going on. There was an excitement, a love. And then we just shut down.
Some insisted that Michelle's silence was deliberate, a way of crafting a powerful response without saying a single word. Others were convinced it was proof that the scandal had merit, that the situation was too real and raw for her to address publicly. No matter the angle, Michelle's every move, or lack thereof, was fodder for endless speculation. But for all the chatter, one fact remained. Michelle Obama has built her public image on strength, authenticity, and resilience. This was a woman who had weathered the pressures of the White House and come out with her head held high. If she was truly reeling from the rumor, she was doing it out of the public eye. The question now was whether she'd break her silence or let the gossip fade on its own. Yet, as attention on Michelle simmered, another layer of intrigue emerged. How was Barack Obama himself navigating this storm of rumors? Let's find out. While Michelle's silence was making headlines, Barack Obama seemed unfazed, at least on the surface. The former president carried on with his usual public appearances, conferences, charity events, and speaking engagements. His calm demeanor, the same steady composure that had defined his presidency, gave nothing away. But for those glued to the unfolding drama, his every gesture became a subject of speculation. Was his calm a facade? Was he masking turmoil as the weight of the rumors bore down on him? Or was he simply dismissing the scandal as the baseless noise it seemed to be? Online commentators were quick to fill in the gaps. Some painted a picture of a man quietly grappling with the fallout, while others Others insisted he was entirely unbothered, focused instead on his work and legacy. Yet his apparent serenity only added to the mystery. If there was any truth to the rumor, surely there would be cracks in his composure, or so people thought, but there weren't. And while Barack carried on with his obligations, Jennifer Aniston returned to her Hollywood life, continuing her work commitments and public appearances. Neither of them showed any outward sign of being affected by the rumor. Still, the public fascination persisted, hinging on one central question: was this all just smoke without fire? But if there's one thing the digital world thrives on, it's not answers, it's more questions. And as the rumor mill churned, one thing became clear. Michelle Obama's silence and the Obamas' calm weren't just about composure. They were a direct challenge to a culture that craves chaos. But would this be enough to silence the frenzy? Let's explore that. The internet thrives on chaos, and this scandal was no exception. Despite the lack of evidence, no photos, no credible sources, no documented sightings, the rumor continued to spread like wildfire. It was almost as if the absence of proof fueled the intrigue even more. In the digital age, where speculation is often mistaken for fact, the outlandish narrative seemed immune to logic. The psychic story, bizarre as it was, became the cornerstone of the rumor.
Expectations we have for a president that have been observed by Republicans and Democrats previously. And maybe most importantly, and most disconcertingly, what we've seen is what some people call truth decay, something that's been accelerated by outgoing President Trump. The sense that not only do we not have to tell the truth,
People latched onto the idea of a hidden romance between two of the world's most high-profile figures, with whispers of secret gatherings and hush-hush confessions turning the tale into something straight out of a Hollywood screenplay. The psychic's revelation added a layer of drama that was too tantalizing for gossip enthusiasts to ignore. It didn't matter how implausible it sounded, people wanted to believe it, and this is where the rumor gained its legs. Social media echo chambers amplified every detail, no matter how flimsy, creating a narrative that felt larger than life. The idea of Jennifer Aniston romantically linked to Barack Obama wasn't just a story, it became a spectacle, blending celebrity glamour with political prestige. It didn't have to make sense, it just had to grab attention. At the heart of this frenzy was one burning question: why weren't Michelle, Barack, or Jennifer addressing the rumor head on? Did their silence mean there was some truth to it, or were they simply refusing to dignify the nonsense with a response? The lack of answers only intensified the debate. And while the story spiraled further into absurdity, it revealed an uncomfortable truth about the internet's appetite for scandal. The more sensational, the better. But what does Michelle's silence really mean? Let's unpack the psychology behind her quiet composure. As the whirlwind of rumors continues to spin, one thing is clear. This story says more about us than it does about the people involved. Despite the complete lack of evidence, no photos, no credible witnesses, no tangible proof, the allure of a scandal involving Barack Obama, Jennifer Aniston, and Michelle Obama has proven irresistible. It's a reflection of our culture's obsession with drama, where the line between fact and fiction blurs and outlandish stories take on lives of their own. Michelle Obama's silence, far from being a sign of weakness or turmoil, may be the ultimate act of defiance. By refusing to engage, she's effectively dismantling the rumor mill's power, showing that dignity and restraint can speak louder than words. Her focus remains on her personal projects and philanthropic efforts, a reminder that true strength lies in staying grounded amidst chaos. Barack Obama, too, has remained composed, carrying on with his public life as though the gossip doesn't exist. And Jennifer Aniston, caught in the crossfire, has chosen humor as her shield, brushing off the absurdity with grace. In the end, this so-called scandal will likely fade, just as so many rumors before it have. It will leave behind a digital trail of sensational headlines, overanalyzed social media posts, and memes that will soon be forgotten. But the story serves as a potent reminder of the world we live in, a world where even the most respected public figures can find themselves at the mercy of viral speculation. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. In a culture fueled by whispers and clicks, the Obama's unwavering composure is a lesson in navigating chaos with grace. Sometimes the best way to respond to noise is simply to rise above it.